God, one average year, and now I'm at the hockey building. Next week I'm going to the soccer. We're gonna have this outdoors over at the women's soccer facility, and then I'm gonna go to tennis after that. So you guys better be versatile and ready to move. But no, all kidding aside, it's a great week for us. Starts tonight, with the Pistons and the Suns here, and two Michigan State guys that are owners, and I look at it a little differently. I look at it as, I think we were a finalist for both Booker and Jones, so I don't know, I'm gonna turn the cold showers on for those two guys, but it was great, and I'm really excited to see them. The Tiger playoff game tomorrow, the State's rocking, and then we're gonna move all the way up to the UP and eat some pasties and have some play up there. So, I mean, it's going to be, I think, an incredible week. With football being off, big hockey game here, as we know, with Boston College. I think the one thing that's been really important for me my whole career is to do things where there's memory makers. And I think, we're going to try to take our players down to that Tiger game, and they're going to be able to see the game tonight. Those are memory makers. We go to Northern. I think Bill Raftery and Lisa Bynington are going to be doing the game. So it'll be an exciting time for all of us, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. My guys, I feel like this last week have really turned the corner. Getting more play out of more people, and more good play out of people that I needed to get more good play out of. Book has had the last 4 or 5 days, it's like a somewhat different guy. I mean, he's got to maintain that. Jaden has played very well. So I'm excited about my team. I'm excited about our teams here, and I'm excited about the situation in our state. So that covers everything for me. And there's no question that we should have a moment of silence for Fred here, because he's finally got, after 10-year drought, he's finally got his Tigers back in the playoffs.
Basketball never starts November anyways.
See the way you are, Fred. I tried to give you a compliment. You came back at me. Well, now for the rest of you guys, are there any questions? I take them.
You talk about making memories. This will be a memory.
You talk about making memories. This will be a memory for you, I would imagine. I guess what is the memory now for you with this, and what are the memories that you kind of feel are going to come back once you get up there?
Yeah, for me, the Midnight Madness, the Mariucci, the announcement of something that, I understand where I played and what was going on, but it was part of something. A lot of people text me and a lot of calls from some important people, so maybe it means more than I even think it should mean. But just kind of remembering back, I wanted to do two things with this. I always wanted to try to give a little back to the places I've been and people that have helped me. I'm going to have my high school coach as one of my honorary coaches there, and that'll be awesome. But more importantly, I think this day and age is, I want my players to see where some of us started, because I do believe we're in too much of an entitled society right now. And there's not a lot entitled up there. And that's why I love it, because I have no interest in entitlement. And so I think it's going to be an educational trip for my players, along with one that'll mean a lot to me. And then, we tried to do this a couple years ago, but they want to play in the arena. It's not the same arena I played in. That's a different one now, and it's just 3,000-4,000 people. And so we finally convinced everybody, and our people did some help, and Rick Comley being back there helped, and we got in the dome, and it'll be a little bit more like remember the Houston UCLA game? There's still going to be the football. We're not going to do it like the Final Four, but there'll be some seats around also, but it'll be a happening up there, and hopefully it helps Northern, hopefully it helps us, and with the Big Ten Network putting it on with guys like Raph and Lisa, if Steve Shearer is going to produce it, he produced 20 some Final Fours. I think everybody's kind of worked together to help out on something that should be a good event. And to top it off, I mean, Northern Michigan won that league last year. And last time that happened and we played Grand Valley, we got beat. So there's a lot of issues here along with the fun, but we'll take a few little tours, I'm sure, a little banquet. Debating whether we have our pasties, whether it's going to be during pregame meal. A little hard to do that with a 1 o'clock game. That means you're eating pasties in the morning. But they're going to get eaten, I promise you all that.
You and Mooch don't keep many secrets between each other. So when he popped up on the screen
did
Friday,
keep
what were
that.
you thinking?
I was thinking, wow, how did you keep that secret? Because he taped it. He was more fired up than even I was. It was... That was a moment, you know. It was a moment because of what it was, but it was a big moment that my best friend, who had gone through it with me, is the one that told me. So I give credit to our people. I give credit to Northern's people. I can't give Mariucci a lot of credit, but I thanked him for it, and it was pretty cool.
Hey, Tom, milestones and memories, that's great. Coach Gordy Leuke, who is he and how much of him have we seen in you over the years?
Well, Gordy Leuke was the infamous coach where I missed the free throw. That would have sent us to the quarterfinals. That started me off shooting free throws for 100 years. But Gordy came in there. He had coached some really good players at a smaller school in Escanaba, and then came to Northern, and we made it to Iron Mountain, and we made it pretty far, but he only was there 1 year because his hometown was Marquette, and that's where he ended up going and coaching the rest of his career. But, yeah, you know, he's one. Tom Clark is another guy I had my senior year, but Gordy has withstood the test of time, and it'll be fun to have him as an honorary coach. It'll mean the world to him. He comes down for games, him and his brother a lot, his wife. So that'll be fun, too, to catch up with him along with a lot of other people. I mean, when I think of Rick Comley, you know, who won a national championship here, but Rick, they started hockey with the money they got from Mariucci's national championship. And so I knew a lot of those first-year hockey players, a guy named Donnie Waddell, who's still in the league as a GM, but he was the GM in Atlanta when I interviewed down there for the job. And I had a chance to talk to Donnie and Tom Laidlaw, Steve Weeks. Those guys that have played in pro ball and done some good things. So, you know, Rick has come here, and then he went back to retire and then became the AD. So, he's had a lot to do with this and helping out, too. I talked to him on the phone a couple weeks ago when our people all went up there. Our people all went up there in a little caravan just to check everything out. It was pretty cool because, you know, I'm not sure if there's a lot of Michigan State people that have seemed to have bought tickets. I don't know if they're going up there to see us. It'll be, colors will be in full bloom, and up there's trees every inch. You know, unlike here where there's pockets of them, or they want to see the dome. But one of the three works for me.
Tom, you're going to give your guys the full Upper experience, take the bus up there, pack sandwiches. If you don't play well, you're going to make them go up the top of the hill.
Yeah, you know, we're not going to take a bus up there because we still have academic things. So that's the only thing I didn't do because I wanted enough time to be up there and spend some time. But there is a hill by the prison that we used to run. Work out, and you know it's kind of on the same path as Jerry Rice's Agony Hill, but it was good. I am taking Mike Garland up with us too because I was trying to see if he'd grow that afro out that he had when I was up there with him, but he has no hair now, so he can't do it. But Mike was a big part of helping me up there and then helping me here. So, you know, the only guy that can't make it is Steve. He's got that damn day job, and Sunday's kind of an important day for him. Otherwise, he would have been there. But we're going to go over to his Beacon House and have a breakfast there and just try to I'm going to try to explain to my guys that giving back to people and remembering where you came from is really important. I got an unbelievable text from Raymar Morgan, who was back here, and then he went back overseas after 2 years of finding out playing is better than working. And him and his family went back over, but he just talked about all the things that happened, and he was sad he missed grind week because he had so much fun. And he kept saying, as I get older, I realize how many things, we learned back then. He goes, why didn't I learn those earlier? And so I've said this a lot. I think one of my jobs now is to help this entitlement deal we're in start finding a way to at least adapt a little bit, but also make sure players know that, helping others and giving back to others is still a very big part when you have a platform to do it, and they have a platform as athletes to do it.
Did you say you're taking the team to the Tigers tomorrow?
Yeah, I
How
am.
did that come about?
An alum that we knew was able to get a box, and tomorrow was our off day, so I probably just blew it because, I better make sure that. See, now I'm probably in trouble, but when you have an off day, you're not allowed to. Well, I'm not forcing them to do this, and you know what? If it's illegal, I don't give a damn. How's that? But it's our day off, and we always try to find some things. And, one of my theories in life is I'm not as big a baseball fan as my counterpart up here, but playoffs are playoffs, and learning how to win and learning how to be around people and seeing the atmosphere. I mean, can you imagine what it's going to be like down there? It's going to be, what a week, you think about it. And, we just came off the big soccer game, and, we've got this to go to. And then, of course, we leave on Friday. Our hockey team has 2 big games at home. I don't think it gets any better than this. And being at the playoffs, because it's been a while, as we all know, but I was there last time for a game or 2, and the atmosphere is just so different, and I want my guys to enjoy it and be part of it and just see what it's like.
And then as far as the overall experience, is it kind of fitting that you take the team to Spain, they get all that kind of glitz and glamour of the overseas trip, and then now you go to Northern Michigan as another preseason?
Are you insinuating that there's no glitz and glamour? I'm taking them to the trailer park, the house we own next to Buck Nystrom. There is a lot more glitz than you think. The difference is the glitz are plastic things and not diamonds. They're just a little different. They still shine, but it'll be fun. I actually wish I could have bussed up there so that they could have gone over the bridge. If it was a little windy and they don't let buses over, like when Mike and I played and you had to sit there for an hour or 2, or when you do go over and it's a little windy, it does sway a little bit. And those are all things that are, I spoke at something last night I did down in Ypsilanti, and there was a woman there, Valerie, that was the gymnastics coach for UCLA for, I think, 17 years. I think she won 9 national championships. And as we were talking, she was kind of narrating this thing, and she said, somebody asked me a question about the UP, and she says, what is a UP? What is the Uper? And I just realized some people are that uneducated that they don't know where in the hell that is. And so I told her, UCLA must not have had a very good geography curriculum out there. And so we tried to educate her a little bit on the UP. But my guys are always going to be like Judd Heathcote said. I told you this story before. Judd took his wife and kids to Mackinac Island. And he pulled up and he got on the boat. They went across. They came back. Judd told his wife to get in the car, as you can imagine how he did that. His 3 kids were in the back seat, and he started driving north. And his wife said, where are we going? And he said, shut up. Now, you can't say that now. The lawyer would get you and sue you for abusing your wife. But he drove over the bridge. She says, "Where are we going?" And he said, "Just be quiet. Get to the other side of the bridge, stop the car." He told everybody to get out of the bridge. And, get out of the car. And they did. And he said, "Now, if anybody ever asks you if you've been to the blankety blank UP, tell them yes, get back in the car, we're going back." It was a true story, verified by his wife. And at least my guys are going to know what it's like to be in a UP. So this is an educational experience also on geography.
Coach, based on what you saw from your team in Spain and what you've seen so far in practice, what are you looking for as far as some of the keys on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm looking for our depth to be a factor. I think depth is going to be. I'm looking and hoping, because we are starting to shoot the ball better, we shoot the ball better. You know, Jaden and Trace didn't shoot the ball very well over there, and they've been shooting the ball a lot better. Booker and Jackson Kohler have been shooting the ball a lot better. I'm looking to see how our young guys do, especially Jace. So see what our improvements are there. I'm looking to see how Jeremy Fears does now under the lights again. He was good over there. I'm looking for that to take another step up. And then I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to rotate guys, because we do have depth, and yet some of that depth has to step up, or it's going to be a solid rotation. If it starts to step up a little bit and one or two guys kind of do that, then, we're still going to play a lot of guys, but it'll look a little different.
It's kind of what I was going to ask you, how you use this. Do you use this kind of like you did in Spain and do a little more different lineups, or do you kind of, at this point, because you've had that, kind of say, okay, we can try and work rotationally?
Good question. The first substitution, I might go two groups. In Spain, I did that a lot. But after that, I also got to start preparing for how it's going to be in the game situation, and we'll try to do some of that. And, even starters, if you remember back to my beginning with Mo Pete, sometimes the best player might not even start. I don't know that yet. I'm not preparing anybody for anything. When I say the best player, I mean some of, because sometimes you need some shooting coming off the bench. Sometimes you need some scoring. So that's what we're trying to analyze right now. And who fits with who has been really good. Our guys have really done a great job of meshing together. It's been a fun team to coach in that respect.
The second part of that was, because you went through the Spain experience and got to see high-level competition, how much farther along do you feel this team is going into the year?
I came back from Spain. I was really semi-satisfied. We played one really good team. We played a good team, and then we played an average team. And the average team we blew out. The good team we beat. And then the best team we didn't beat. But it was a team from Serbia that I thought was pretty good. We had some turnovers. If there's been one problem when you're trying to play a lot of guys, turnovers are a key. And as we know, in every sport, turnovers matter. So that's been something we've tried to harp on. But I think the experience was good because it gave us a little opportunity to see who can handle some pressure, who can't. That was probably the main thing. And I didn't think the moment was too big for like a Richardson or like a Fears, who hadn't played really all last year. I think Kohler and Booker have been our leading scorers in a lot of the things we've done. And I think after a sluggish, just only on his shooting, Jaden has been way better defensively. He's going to the boards better, but he just, now he's making a lot more shots, and which he's a 39% three-point shooter over his career. So I knew that would come. And if those three guys can do that, we can get certain guys to pass the ball. A couple of the guys inside, and Coop and Shimon, can rebound the ball. Jackson and Book have been very good, both shooting threes and especially Jackson scoring inside.
Tom, what was Gordy's favorite play at Iron Mountain? Is there a Leduc special or a Glenn Brown special?
Yeah, it was kind of like, what's his name from Northwestern? Chris Collins. Did you ever see The Last Dance? when they said, what was the last play like? And his dad said, well, it was, give it to Michael and the rest of you go to hell kind of thing, That's what it was for me. They just gave it to me and I got the score. That's a lie. His favorite plays, he was a pretty disciplined coach. We ran a lot, but we, just think, I think back to those years in football, it was Mariucci and I. He was the quarterback, I was the running back. In basketball, we were the two guards. You wonder why we became best friends and lived through a lot together. But, Gordy was really excited, to be a part of it. And my other coach, Tom Clark, and his wife are coming up from Iron Mountain. So those things will be neat. I was really excited that it sold out and the time it sold out. And I tried to tell him I should do like the Final Four and just put standing room in the end zones, let the kids in and let the little kids in from the UP. So somewhere there's a Tom Izzo up there at 5 that would be dying to go watch Rose play and the different guys I got to when I was at Northern, when Stan Olbeck was the head coach. Can you believe that? So I hope those things all happen. But it's going to be a great crowd.
Jackson Kohler's been playing at the 4 a little bit more. How's that coming along? He's more athletic now. That's working out defensively. How's that?
Yeah, he's really changed his body. Lorenzo has done a great job with some of these guys. Book has really changed his body. So I'm really pleased with that. And Jackson has been as consistent. I think when he got hurt last year, that hurt us. But he's way better than he was last year. Now, what does that mean as we move forward? Who knows? You still got to be able to guard somebody. I said everybody wants to move up a position: centers, forwards, guards, point guards. Want to coach the team. Everybody moves up, but at the same time, you got to be able to guard somebody too, and those will be the challenges. But I think, I had Draymond talk to him a little bit about. Sometimes you don't have to be as quick. You have to be as smart. You have to study more film. You have to be, you have to use your basketball IQ defensively as well as offensively, which this kid has done all that, So we're going to soon find out, but I like what I've been seeing.
Tom, just curious, listen to your words over the past few weeks, rooted in entitlement and where we're at with college sports. We've gotten away from the Wild Wild West term. You said guardrails, and you're talking about adapting. Am I getting that you're going to be using your platform to kind of bridge the gap a little bit to make it work, as opposed to saying, this is where we are and we can't do anything about it?
Yeah, I'll never say this is where we are. I can't do anything about it. I don't really believe in any way, shape, or form the cows are out of the barn or the horses are out of the barn or whatever sayings. I was here when the drinking age was 21, then it went to 18, then it went back to 21. I would say this is my favorite way. I've read a lot of articles lately. Some writers have written some great articles. That's an oxymoron, but they really have, and I've read them, and I've even contacted some of them. And so I would say this, as you look for answers from coaches, you guys really are smarter than most of your wives or husbands think, and how do you feel about it? What do you like and don't like? Have you watched football closely and seen some programs flourish a little bit and some have just crumbled? I have. You guys, I work with it every day, but you watch as much or more than I watch, and what is it like for a writer? What is it like for a fan? Do you like the way it's going? Do you not like the way it's going? I still think there has to be some guardrails on things. I still think that there's going to be unintended consequences we're going to have to deal with later that are going to affect an 18 to 22-year-old. I've always said that. It's not about me. I'll coach whoever I get. And you know what? I've won a lot of different ways. And so that part doesn't bother me as much as, will there be Texas from guys for heartfelt things? Will there be grind weeks? Will there be alumni things? Will there be players coming back for homecomings? What do? Flip a coin in September and say, let's see, I'll go back to Michigan State, Tennessee game, or Dayton or, 4 different, I mean, if that's what everybody wants, that's cool. But I still believe in what I believe in. I will say this. One of my favorite football teams is Clemson, because your counterparts all but killed the guy after the first week. And I believe now they're 4-1. And I talked to him a little bit the other day, and, I just, I mean, everybody's got to do what they got to do. And don't anybody say I'm too old school to change, because that has nothing to do with it. I will change on anything that's right to change on. I've changed on a million things over the last 10 years. Some I changed too much. But people make rules and don't think about the unintended consequence to the rules. Sometimes we make rules or laws, or we're in this political world we're in now, where to get us votes, to get us feeling good about, someone feel good about you. You know what? When Raymar Morgan sent me that text today, it just made me realize again, stupid text, but more or less said, it's amazing as you get older what you wish you would have done when you were younger. I think that's going to be tenfold going forward. And I hope we know that the decisions we make, you go to 4 different schools, they're life-changing decisions. And it's always going to work out for some, and yet are the casualties more than the ones that grow? And that's what we're going to find out. But I'm not going to use my platform as much, because I'm not going to change the world. I'm just going to make sure that my program is going to be a relationship-based program. As long as I'm here, I'm going to adjust as much as I have to adjust. And if it gets to the point where it's not that way, then maybe it's time for someone else to try it. But I don't see that in the near future, because I'm more fired up now than I was 2 years ago. I think my new hip made me healthier. I think happier. I like the guys I got. I like my staff. I love our president. I love the AD. I love the football coach. We're ready to rock and roll here. I even like the tennis coach. He's done a hell of a job. Don't kid yourself when I say that, because if you win a little more, by the way, okay, get one more big-time recruit like you've gotten, then we're going to have this in the new tennis facility. I'll be coming over there, and you won't have to come to basketball or hockey or football. So keep up the good work.
Just a thought on the Pistons and Matt's team playing tonight. I know it's just an exhibition game, but is that kind of cool for you to have them all here tonight?
Oh, it really is. I mean, the Pistons, I always pull, I'm a Packer fan my whole life, but it's hard not to pull for the Lions. When in Rome, do like the Romans. So, I've become a Pistons fan. I want them to win. I believe anybody in our state that wins helps our state. Almost anybody. But it does help our state, and when the state's better, we're all better. And then Matt, and the job he's doing, the job he's done, Brian Gregory's now down there. He'll be here today for practice. I love the way Matt has taken the approach he's taken. And, there's always curbs in the road. I think they've made a couple of acquisitions that are going to be really good. Got to have point guards, and I'm looking forward to talking to Tyus a little bit. He didn't come here, but he married a Michigan State gal, so I guess he's half human. I include him, and so it's going to be fun to watch that and spend a little time with some of the guys that I recruited, and I got a chance to meet KD when I was down there last year with him, and exhibition game it is, but I think they're excited to be here, and I think there's supposed to be a great crowd here, so that'll be a lot of fun.
So I'm just wondering real quick, are you healthy going up there? But also wanted to
Yeah, look at me. Do I not look? You mean me or the team?
Oh, you. No question about you, your team.
Oh, you don't care about me. I got it.
Hey, you got the hip. I know you're doing good. Primarily, though, I wanted to ask you about Justin McCulloch. Just where's he coming along? Do you see him fitting in this year? Is there not room for him this year? Is he maybe on a Garrett sort of plan? Or
That's a very good question that we're trying to make those decisions on, too. We've been really excited about Jesse. As I said, you always recruit guys, and I'm sure you agree with this. You recruit some guys, and you think you got an ace, and he turns out to be just okay. Most of the time, it seems like kids are never as good as the rankings or that you recruited them because everybody builds them up so much. So there's always some margin for error. This one, the margin for error has been the opposite. He's grown a little bit. He's gotten his body tightened up. He can shoot the ball. I mean, and yet he's got some ward in him where he hits under the basket. He's tougher than nails. So do I think he's ready to play yet? Maybe not quite yet. Does that mean, we would look into talking to him about what he should do? Maybe. I mean, that'll be determined. The nice thing is we got a game now. Then we got a little time, and as you know, everybody can play in the exhibition games and not lose their eligibility. But hasn't been something we've talked to him about because we're just waiting to see. And, we haven't really had any injuries yet, knock on wood. But as we all know, a couple of years ago when Miles was here, we had 3 bigs that were already out for the year. And so we just hope that doesn't happen. But he has been one of my surprises, and yet he's a freshman.
Tom, you wouldn't think in your career of memory makers that an exhibition game would be in there. But as this gets closer to Sunday, you're pretty fired up about this, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm fired up to bring my team up there. I'm fired up to see the people. I'm fired up to maybe do something for Northern. I'm fired up for my guys because I think they'll have a better idea, I always went to Flint. I always went to Detroit. I always went to Saginaw. I see where those guys were from. They never go where I'm from. And now they're going to get a chance, and maybe that helps them understand me a little bit better. And so I'm excited about that, but I'm really excited that a lot of people from down here are going up. And I think Friday and Saturday night, I am going up there for 2 days, and we just decided we're going to, as I said, make it a little bit historic as far as taking them to places maybe they'd never been or never could be. I was almost hoping to take a run to Iron Mountain and take them to the ski jump and show them where Mariucci and I used to work out and see if they couldn't handle that. They couldn't run the 374 steps of that landing or that scaffold. So it's still, maybe Saturday morning, get up real early and do it. It's a possibility, but if not, it's going to be an exciting time and just being around some people. And you know what? As a Division II athlete and I'm making my first start against Michigan State in my entire career, that hits home a little bit too. It's going to be the Super Bowl for them. This is their chance, They don't get to do this, and not many people give them a chance, especially at home. And so, yeah, this is my way of giving back to them. And like I said, I think when I was talking earlier, the first thing I thought about was calling them and making sure they let all the little Tom Izzos in that went up there when he was 6, 7, 8 years old. So we got to get him in free, or I got to donate it or something. But we got to make sure. So you guys, as you always do, the media help me in a backwards way figure out what I have to do yet in the next 3 days. So I don't want to take up any more time, but I do want to say this. Harry has brought a few recruits over. When he was going to get the job, there were question marks. He was kind of me when he was younger than me. But no real experience and all the things that go along with being a head coach. And he's done a phenomenal job. And I hope as, my old friend Peter Secchia and his wife has donated a lot of money to his program, going to have an incredible facility. I hope you follow him even more because he's got a couple of players that are big-time players, and he's going to get more of them because his personality, his recruiting, he's done a hell of a job. He's one of us, and enjoy him. So now, welcome to the Poison Pens.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate you. Appreciate the words.